A Valley woman is accused of helping the North Korean government avoid sanctions and bringing millions for the country's weapons program.
America, we just uncovered what might be the biggest national security breach in decades. An Arizona woman named Christina Chapman just got sentenced to over 8 years in prison for helping North Korean agents infiltrate 309 American companies, including Fortune 500 corporations and major tech firms. She stole 68 American identities, ran a laptop farm out of her house, and funneled over $17 million directly to North Korea's nuclear weapons program. But here's the kicker. Nike alone paid $75,000 to what they thought was an American IT worker, but actually was a North Korean government agent.
The feds say Christina Chapman was running what they called a laptop farm, making it seem like the people she was helping were here in the U.S. In reality, they were in North Korea.
What is up, guys? Tyson, Dela, Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This case proves that North Korea isn't just a threat from afar. They're inside our house, working at our biggest companies and using our own money to fund weapons that could destroy American cities. Let me break down this absolutely insane case. Christina Chapman just got sentenced to 102 months. That's 8.5 years in federal prison for what judges call a national security threat. And the numbers are absolutely staggering.
The crime? North Korea used stolen or fraudulent identities of 68 U.S. individuals to set up fake online personas. And when the North Koreans obtained those identities, they got employment with 309 companies.
The Department of Justice says she ran laptop farms out of her house in Minnesota and Arizona using dozens of U.S. stolen identities to help North Koreans get jobs at hundreds of American companies. We're talking about companies like Nike, which unwittingly paid more than $75,000 to a North Korean agent.
I'm very proud of them, and I really want to give them a shout out. Because, as many of you know, most companies don't want to be named, okay? Nike wrote a letter to the federal sentencing judge in this case, and they encapsulated exactly what's going on here. They said, on behalf of Nike, the defendant's decision to obtain employee through Nike via identity theft was a betrayal of trust that we as an organization extend to every member of our team. This incident then required us to expend valuable time and resources on internal investigations to confirm that our systems were never breached and to develop and implement additional safeguards and protocols.
This wasn't just fraud. This was an infiltration on American business by a hostile foreign government. And the money from these fake IT salaries was funneled directly to North Korea's nuclear weapons program. Here's how this criminal enterprise actually worked. Chapman would receive company laptops at her house, then either keep them there or ship them to China and other locations where North Korean agents could access them remotely.
The indictment says she would plug them in and let the North Koreans connect to them remotely. In exchange, she charged a monthly fee. And the North Koreans were paid as IT professionals.
According to the Department of Justice, Chapman stole the identities of U.S. citizens and supplied IT workers in North Korea with those identities to pose as U.S. citizens working at companies in the United States in remote jobs.
The scheme was massive. It generated more than $17 million in revenue for Chapman and North Korean workers. But think about what this really means. North Korean government agents had remote access to American company networks for years.
Officials say more than 70 U.S. identities were compromised.
These weren't just any companies either. We're talking about Fortune 500 companies, major TV networks, and Silicon Valley tech firms. American companies thought that they were hiring remote workers in the United States, but they were actually giving North Korean spies access to their most sensitive information. In another story, broadcasters called this something straight out of the movie, and they're not wrong. 4 North Korean agents were accused of pretending to be IT workers to infiltrate American companies and steal money to fund weapons programs.
It's living in a spy movie. You know, like something out of James Bond.
One victim was an Atlanta-based tech entrepreneur, Marlon Williams, who says the North Korean agent spent months earning his trust before they executed what he calls the big hack in March 2022.
March of 2022 is when they executed what I call the big hack, close to 800,000, and then wiped all their chats all the history that we had.
$800,000 stolen in one hack, and these suspects were manipulating digital contracts and shuffling funds to cover their tracks. The FBI is now offering a $5 million reward. What makes this case so terrifying is the scale. The FBI believes that there are potentially hundreds of fake North Korean IT workers still operating inside American companies right now. This isn't a one-off scheme. This is a systematic government operation.
The suspects allegedly used stolen IDs to get jobs as remote IT workers in what the FBI says was a North Korean government operation to defraud companies all over the world. The FBI now offering a $5 million reward for information leading to the team's arrest, while warning that potentially hundreds of phony IT workers may still be inside U.S. companies.
And here's what's really scary. These agents were doing excellent work until they got greedy. Marlon Williams says that they were doing a great job until October that year, when there was $30,000 all of a sudden missing. So North Korean spies are actually competent employees while they were stealing company secrets and money.
They were doing a great job until October that year, where there was $30,000 missing.
More than $1 million in cryptocurrency was stolen from that victim in Georgia.
Over $1 million in cryptocurrency was stolen from just one victim in Georgia. And this case is raising some serious questions about how companies screen their remote workers, or in many cases, don't screen them at all.
Your tech sectors are being infiltrated by North Korea. And when big companies are lax and they're not doing their due diligence, they are putting America's security at risk.
Let's be clear about what this really means for American national security. Every dollar these North Korean agents earned went directly back to their government's nuclear weapons program. This wasn't corporate espionage. This was economic warfare designed to fund missiles that could hit American cities. The judge in Chapman's case called this a national security threat, part of a much larger, sophisticated scheme that earns North Koreans hundreds of million dollars a year.
Through a series of increasingly brazen criminal schemes, the North Korean government is attempting to fund its nuclear weapons program and evade U.S. sanctions, while victimizing American companies, American financial institutions, and American citizens. The FBI and our partners are doing everything we can to defend the homeland, and that is why I'm very pleased to announce today's sentencing of U.S. citizen Christina Chapman to 8.5 years for her part in these schemes.
U.S. law enforcement is now trying to spread the word to corporate America about these North Korean threats that could come with every job application. But the damage is already done. Hundreds of American companies have already been infiltrated, and who knows how much sensitive information has already been stolen. America, this case represents one of the most sophisticated attacks on our national security in decades. Christina Chapman helped North Korea place agents inside 309 American companies, steal over $17 million, and fund their nuclear weapons programs, all while the biggest corporations were completely clueless. Think about what this means. North Korean government agents had access to Fortune 500 companies, networks, customer database, and business secrets for years. Nike alone paid $75,000 to what they thought was an American IT worker, but was actually an enemy agent sending intelligence back to North Korea. And this is just what we know. The FBI believes that there are probably hundreds more North Korean IT workers currently employed by American companies right now, sending money and intelligence back to their government every single day. In my opinion, this happened because corporate America got lazy with remote hiring during C-19 and stopped doing basic employment verification. Companies were so desperate for IT workers that they didn't bother to verify that the person that they were hiring was actually an American citizen. The solution seems pretty simple. Do real interviews on camera, verify identities in person, and stop treating national security threats like an inconvenience. When you hire somebody to work remotely, make sure that they're actually who they say they claim to be. Christina Chapman got 8.5 years in prison, but the damage is already done. Over $17 million went to North Korea's nuclear program, and who knows how much sensitive corporate and government information was stolen. This is what happens when we let our guard down, America. Our enemies are always looking for ways to exploit our openness and trust, and we can't afford to be naive about it anymore. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.